How to become an F1 driver. Becoming an F1 driver is a dream job for many people. However, it's not as easy to become one as you may think. It takes a lot of hard work and determination to become an F1 driver. You will need to be dedicated and have a lot of passion for the sport. You should also be willing to spend your life training and never stop learning from your mistakes. Now in this video, we're going to discover how a normal person like you can become a Formula One driver. Hello guys, welcome to F1 Freaks. Formula One is a motorsport series. It is the highest class of single-seater car racing in the world and is currently sanctioned by the International Automobile Federation, the FIA. Formula One has its origin in the European Grand Prix motor racing of the 1930s. It was renamed to Formula One in 1950. The first Formula One championship was held on the 13th of May, 1950, at Silverstone Circuit in England. What is the cost of becoming a Formula One driver? Formula One drivers are the best in the world. The average salary of a Formula One driver is $3.7 million per year. And the cost to be a Formula One driver is not cheap. The cost of becoming a Formula One driver is not cheap at all. In order to become an F1 driver, one needs to have good skills, be able to afford the expensive training courses and equipment. How to qualify for the F2 license and become a Formula One driver. F1 drivers are the most famous and sought-after people in the world. Becoming a Formula One driver is not easy, but it's possible to get qualified for the F2 license. The first step of getting your Formula One license is to meet certain age requirements. You have to be at least 18 years old before you can apply for a license. You also need to have completed at least 3 years of racing in lower categories before you can apply for a Formula One license. Second step is getting your Formula One license is to get the F1 endorsement. This is an internationally recognized qualification that shows you have the required knowledge, experience, and skill levels. The F1 endorsement will show up on your license as an F in front of your category. For example, if you're competing in the Formula BMW UK, you would have a BMW F on your license. You can get the F1 endorsement from a racing school or from the FIA recognized competition. The next step to getting your Formula One license is to pass the FIA's driver's test. There are two types of tests for a Formula One driver: a practical driving test, the C test, and an in-car test, the D test. The practical driving test is an actual driving maneuver that must be completed in the shortest time possible. The D test is a computerized simulation of the driver's environment. In-car tests are only available for drivers who have previously passed both the practical and in-car tests. Formula One is one of the most popular sports in the world. The sport is highly competitive and only a few drivers are able to qualify for it. In order to be a Formula One driver, you need to have excellent driving skills, mental strength, and much more. You also need to have a lot of experience with cars and racing in general. Also guys, if you're loving the content so far, please consider dropping a like and making sure to subscribe. Let us take a look at some of our ancient F1 drivers to see how it used to be then. Alain Prost is a French racing driver who won 4 Formula One World Championships. He was a successful driver and businessman, but he's most known for his rivalry with Ayrton Senna. Alain Prost was born on February 25, 1955, in the town of Saint-Comand, Loire. His father has been in the car business, and Alain grew up around cars. He started racing at 16 and won his first championship in 1980, driving for Renault. He would win 3 more championships with McLaren, and then retired from racing after winning his 4th title in 1993. He now has his own company that makes sports drinks, and is an ambassador for Renault's Formula One team. Ayrton Senna was a Brazilian race driver who won 3 Formula One World Championships. He is considered by many to be the greatest Formula One driver of all time and is known for his aggressive driving style, which often led to his collisions. He started racing in Brazil in 1979 and won his first Formula One race in 1982, driving for Tolman Hart. He moved to Lotus Honda in 1984, winning 6 races before his first World Championship. In 1988, he moved to the McLaren Honda and won that year's championship, becoming the youngest double champion at the time. Senna holds several records in Formula One, including most starts, most wins, and most consecutive podium finishes. He's widely regarded as one of the greatest and most influential Formula One drivers. Senna died on May 1, 1994, after crashing into a concrete wall during the San Marino Grand Prix. He was 34 years old and left no immediate survivors. What are the qualities required to become a Formula One driver? To become a Formula One driver, you must have a certain set of qualities. Qualities like the ability to drive quickly and accurately, the ability to think clearly and make quick decisions, and the ability to maintain composure in difficult situations. The most important quality required for Formula One drivers is that they are able to keep their composure in difficult situations. They must not be easily distracted by their surroundings or by other drivers. They need to stay focused on what they are doing at all times. Formula One drivers must be able to think quickly and make decisions without hesitation. They need to be able to react quickly in order to avoid any potential accidents or collisions with other cars on the track. In order to become a Formula One driver, one must have the following requirements. Must be at least 18 years old. Must be able to speak English fluently. Must have a driver's license. Must have an FIA Super license. Have held a racing license for at least 2 years. How to prepare for a Formula One racing career. Formula One drivers are the most elite and accomplished drivers in the world. They are responsible for the safety of their team, their car, and themselves. To qualify for a Formula One racing career, you need to be at least 18 years old. You also need to have a valid driver's license and a passport that is valid for at least 3 more years. The best way to prepare for a Formula One racing career is to start off with karting when you're young. Karting will teach you how to drive on all types of surfaces, which will give you an edge over other drivers who have only been driving on pavement or asphalt. Successful professional racing drivers have the intelligent, disciplined, and have a high tolerance for risk. These traits are needed because the driver will be competing in high-speed races that can be life-threatening. A successful F1 driver needs to be able to make quick decisions while driving over 200 miles an hour. They need to keep their composure when they're put in stressful situations on the track. They also need self-discipline so that they do not make bad decisions when they are under pressure. The racing driver is a unique type of person. They are driven by emotion and they live with adrenaline, and they need to stay calm and collected. So what does it take to be a professional racing driver? The answer is an interesting one. It takes an emotional person who can stay calm and collected in the face of high-pressure situations and unpredictable complications to be a successful F1 driver. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you know how the process to become an F1 driver. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.